Hitler came to power in Germany in 1932. Cold War started. But hope turned to horror as 11 hostages were ultimately killed.
The games must go on.
At the ancient sanctuary of Olympia. Earlier the games held every 4 years, a period known as the Olympiad. The victor of these games is awarded a crown of olive branches, along with numerous privileges. In 580 BC the Huraea Games were introduced, specifically dedicated to women.
That's what I'm talking about!
In which women weren't allowed to participate. The games were just dedicated to women. In 146 BC, the mighty Roman Empire was on its rise and almost all ancient Greek cities were conquered by the mighty Romans. Roman rulers showed interest in the Olympic Games and even organized their own competition. Everything was going well until the 4th century. Christianity became the religion of the Roman Empire, and in AD 392, this handsome man, Theodas, banned all pagan rituals, bringing the Olympic Games to an end. The ancient Olympic sites and stadiums were abandoned, destroyed by the ill effects of nature and time. They were forgotten forever.
Much later.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Until the fateful year of 1766, when the determined English archaeologist Richard Chandler located the sites of Olympia, which were under the rule of Ottoman Empire back then. When Greece gained its independence, the French embarked on meticulous excavation, unearthing the ancient wonders of Olympia. It was the visionary of French historian, this exceptionally handsome man, Pierre de Coubertin, who ultimately revived the Olympics, breathing new life into this timeless tradition. In 1894, he established the International Olympic Committee, IOC. The historic city of Athens was chosen to host the inaugural modern Olympic Games. In 1896, the world witnessed the rebirth of the Olympic Games in the heart of Greece, where the ancient glory met the modern tradition. The next Olympics Games held in Paris, 1900, then in St. Louis, 1904, then in London, 1908. But nothing interesting happened. Now you people will say,
"Hey Skyler, the Olympics are single-handedly the most interesting thing during that period of time. What more do you want?"
And I get your point. You're right. The Olympics are interesting. But things we human beings found more interesting are controversies. Like in Paris Olympics 2024, Imane Khalif got at the center of a gender controversy and people do have a furious reaction. But we'll overlook it for the time being. Continuing our timeline. In 1912 comes the Stockholm, Sweden Olympics. The marathon was cloaked in the mystery with the disappearance of a Japanese runner who did not finish the race. His story came to light 50 years later. During his run under the relentless sun, he sought refuge in a house to take a brief nap. Just a brief nap. So, he fell into a deep sleep, waking only the next morning. Consumed by shame, he returned to Japan. Without a word. In 1967, he returned to Stockholm to finish his marathon, completing it after an incredible 54 years, 8 months, 6 days, 5 hours, 32 minutes, 20.3 seconds. His journey of redemption became the timeless Olympic legend. In 1916, the Olympics are supposed to happen in Berlin, but were cancelled due to World War I. 1920 Antwerp, Berlin Olympics. Nothing much happened. You know, the usual Olympic routine. In 1924 Chamonix, France. Then in 1928 Amsterdam, Netherlands Olympics came. Another year of usual games. The only interesting thing that happened was this peace sign with a beautiful blue background was used for the first time. 1932 Los Angeles, USA. Another year of regular Olympics. Oh God, I need some entertainment. All these regular Olympic. My audience of 13 subscribers is going to click away.
Damn it, Wade!
To provide us the entertainment of our life, Hitler came to power in Germany in 1932. And the next Olympic Games were about to held in 1936 Berlin, Nazi Germany. Hitler saw the upcoming 1936 Berlin Games as a golden opportunity to propagate the Nazi ideology of racial superiority. Jews were systematically excluded from sports organizations, sparking global calls to boycott the Berlin Games. Despite Germany's dominance, winning 38 gold medals, the true hero was Jesse Owens, a black American athlete. By winning 4 gold medals in the 100 meters, 200 meters, 4x100 meter relay and long jump, shattering Hitler's propaganda. His victories were a powerful rebuttal to the Nazi ideology, symbolizing defiance and equality. And all Hitler could do in response was to not shake hands. Jesse Owens' legacy extends beyond Olympic triumphs. His story continues to inspire generations to fight against racial discrimination. 1940 and 1944 games were cancelled because of World War II. Fast forwarding to 1952 Helsinki Olympics Games. Cold War started. Olympic Games transformed into a battleground of ideologies. The stakes were nothing less than global prestige, ideological victory. And this ideological war continues until the dissolution of USSR in 1991. Continuing our timeline, 1956 Olympics were held in Australia and Stockholm. Nothing much happened. You know, the usual Olympic routine. Then come the 1960 Rome Olympics, in which Muhammad Ali wins gold in boxing category at the age of 18. In 1964, Tokyo, Japan Olympics. These stick figure pictogram for toilets got popular, guiding countless foreign visitors in a land where the Latin alphabet was not the norm. Then comes the 1968 Mexico Olympics in Mexico City. In a moment that would echo through history, Tommy Smith of the USA blazed to victory in the 200-meter sprint. As he stood on the podium, joined by his compatriot John Carlos, who finished third. The world watched in awe. With heads bowed and black-gloved fists raised high, they made a powerful statement of solidarity with the fight for civil rights. In a swift and controversial response, the IOC banned both athletes for life from the Games. Then came the 1972 Munich, Germany Olympics. Under the cover of darkness, Palestinian terrorists infiltrated the Olympic Village, taking 11 Israel athletes hostage. The world held its breath as the situation unfolded, but hope turned to horror as 11 hostages were ultimately killed. Despite the grief and tension, the Games continued under a heavy atmosphere, testing the Olympic spirit and leaving a mark on history. Then came the 1976 Montreal Olympics, Canada, where financial mismanagement plunged the city in debt for the next 30 years. Then in 1980, USSR hosts the Olympics. As USSR was invading Afghanistan during that time, over 51 nations boycotted the Games in protest. But USSR is like,
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Now in 1984, the USSR and its allies are boycotting the Games for some reasons I don't even want to discuss. Then came the 1988 Olympics. Seoul, South Korea. Now North Korea and its allies boycotted the Games. Now comes the 1992 Olympics, Barcelona, Spain. With the Cold War finally over, the Olympic Games shed their heavy political chains. Nations from every corner of the globe came together in the spirit of unity and cooperation. From then on, all the Olympic Games till now have not had anything politically controversial or interesting to tell. Besides, you know, the usual Olympic routine. Here is the list of all the countries that hosted the Olympics after this. I'm so broke that ducks throw bread at me. So, if you don't want ducks throw bread at me, subscribe.